5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Circ! Hello, everyone.
Hi.
That's right. We're still doing the just stop. We're still doing the cringy thing. So, welcome back to the dojo. I'm Eljay.
I'm Bar.
I am Meso.
I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Prpl.
This is
Prpl.
NinjagoCast,
Hi.
and we are the Masters of Ponjutsu!
Hi, Prpl. Hi,
Oh my gosh! You do this in private all the time! I don't need this here!
We're ninja, dude. That's what we do.
You're annoying, Ninja! Ninja don't make sounds!
Hi, Prpl.
Okay. Shut up! Man, I haven't done that in a long time.
What?
Shut up? Yeah, you haven't.
Yelling. It's just your
Internet, high five.
nonsense pushed me over the edge. Okay, so, hello everyone. Welcome back
Hi.
to NinjagoCast. This is episode 4, and we are going to be talking about the next 2 episodes of Ninjago Hands of Time.
Oh boy.
So, I believe, as per usual, we have some more clarifications, or at least some things that some of the members here would like to bring up before we actually dig into the episode. So, Kahi, go ahead with your revelations.
It's just a theory. It wasn't really a revelation. Tommy Anderson said a while ago on Twitter that there was a large amount of time in between, like, you know, the first Ninjutsu Master dying and then what we have now, like what we're seeing with the, you know, the fight against the Hands of Time and all that stuff. There's a huge amount of time, like centuries, that Wu and Garmadon are alive and not kids, but like not turning old. So we had talked about how old is this world. That was a thing that we had brought up a while ago, and I think you guys want to touch upon that beforehand. I'm not sure, but it is way older than we're thinking. Because I remember we were like, oh, then this guy comes and there's just one generation, and then now we're at Lloyd.
We did talk about this
Okay.
a little bit last episode. Tommy Anderson said that it's at least thousands of years old.
Right.
Which is strange.
Here is something I was thinking about, okay? Because I do find it odd that they've been alive for this amount of time, and only recently, in the last less than 40 years, they begun to age. Because we see them in the flashbacks, and they look the same, you know. But like, and they look the same as they have for like these thousands of years. But then only in the last 40 years or so, Wu and Garmadon have begun to age, and they age at the same rate as other people in the world age, right?
Yeah.
Notably Misako. Here is my theory, crackpot theory. The first Ninjutsu Master and all his offspring are immortal until they fall in love, because Wu and Garmadon fell in love with Misako, and from that point on, they age alongside Misako.
Oh man, another reason to not like Misako.
So like, I was wondering, like, you know, just maybe crackpot theory. Because they both had feelings for Misako, they kind of gave up that eternal life thing, but Wu got cheated out of it because Garmadon
Seems
used
like a
his
very,
letter.
very easy way to give up your immortal life there.
I know, right?
Fall in love and you die. That sucks. Man, what a nice commentary on love. Great job, Ninjago team. I can't believe that.
Think how soon
Never
the
fall
first
in love,
Ninjutsu
kids.
Master died after the 2 kids were born, right? There wasn't, I don't know how.
True.
You know, so like he has the kids, and then, you know, presumably it's because, you know, he fell in love with somebody, and then he died, and then they grow up and they do all that stuff, and then once one of them has a kid, they start to age.
If the first Penjutsu Master made the world, then, like, where did his wife come from?
He
Probably made her.
made her.
I mean, listen, if he can make an entire world, you'd think he would just be able to materialize,
Yeah, matchmaker, find me a match.
like, kids.
Dude. You would never have to, like, use any dating apps or anything, or even
No.
go out.
You are your own dating app.
Jinx!
Oh my god.
Good grief.
What an awesome
Double
superpower.
jinx.
I love that he just like swiped right.
What if, what if he made like his own like true love, right? Like his ideal love. She comes out and she's just like, ew, gross. Like walks away.
Didn't the first Ninjutsu Master have like light powers? It was like something like that. Like all the
We don't know.
Because then he'd swipe light.
I mean, he was essentially God.
You know, okay.
Stop.
You know,
XD.
it's kind of interesting. So the Serpentine Wars happened, like, what, 40 years ago, right?
Sure.
40 years ago.
Apparently.
40 years.
They make a pretty big, like,
First
they hammer that in.
First Spinjitzu
Spinjitzu.
master.
You can do it, LJ. I believe in you.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
The first the first Spinjitzu master was involved in the Serpentine War. We've seen him in flashbacks.
What?
Yeah, we've seen him. He's on top of a dragon.
What did he?
Yep.
So he was alive at the very least 40 years ago.
What on earth?
Wait.
What?
Wait.
No.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I can't understand what you're saying.
I will get you.
Are you
Photo
sure?
evidence.
Live studio audience is
I
saying
am-
that's Woo, not the.
No,
first
Woo
Spinjitzu.
was someone else. The first
I am
Ninjitsu master was this one guy with
100%
like
sure.
really long hair, and he had like a golden dragon and stuff. And then Woo looked.
They don't
completely
remember.
different.
I'm getting a picture.
All right, you better find
All
that
right.
First.
You better find this pic.
Spin
Your head's gonna be on a pike. This better not be like the elves dragon on
They're
BrickFeed.
about to make another run.
No, I'm done.
Okay.
Done with the rest.
This Ninjago
I'm looking for
timeline that a member of our live studio audience has graciously provided us, Magic Ninja 6195. It says the first Ninjutsu master passes 1,070 years ago. So
Purple.
Rip that timeline.
Real quick. Purple. If I can't find this, you're taking the fall with me because you agree.
I'm gonna go
you
look
remember
for some
this
pictures
guy.
real quick.
According to the same
Yeah.
person, Magic Ninja 6195, it's the previous Master of Mind. So we shall see. But in the meantime, while they hunt for
You
pictures,
should search for the
Where-
master.
Where on earth was it ever said it was the Mastermind?
Well, I mean, search for Mastermind and see if it's the same picture.
Mastermind.
Master of
Okay,
Mind.
yes. Let me see. Mind.
Ninjago. This is gonna bother me until we find an answer.
her reasoning is the dragon.
No, I
is similar.
can't find it under mind.
What picture are you guys thinking of?
I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find that. I bet I'll find it before all you guys. But we do need like.
I'm glad you all came prepared.
John.
Hey,
Here.
we can,
Okay.
like,
this
while
is your
while
fault.
you guys
Fault.
you guys look into that, I will go ahead and get into the recap.
Gotcha.
Okay.
We'll pick this back up
Okay.
during
Real
the episode.
quick though, this isn't the picture I was thinking of, but that's what the dude in the back there is supposedly the first Spinjitzu master or something.
is he wearing a diaper?
I remember him on a dragon.
He looks like a rock star. Look at his hair.
Like
a
I
rock star.
heavily doubt that
Or-
dude.
or
I
the
do
tiny
not think that's
whiteys.
the first Spinjitzu master.
The guy was on a dragon.
It's like the
I remember
opening of
that
Breaking
much.
Bad.
Yeah, I do too.
He looks like he's wearing a similar outfit to the Master of Mind.
I swear. Okay. In
Yeah,
any
that's
case,
the
let's go
image.
ahead.
I
It's
do
like a
not
golden
know which.
dragon. And he's like got a flute and stuff. They like gave him extra attention or whatever. So
Yeah, no, that is the image right there.
Okay, then
I swear that-
no.
Don't recall the first Spinjitzu master ever having long hair.
Or a diaper.
well, he did have long hair. He had it in a braid.
He definitely had long hair.
If it was
I don't
just
know.
listen,
I don't
if it
know.
was just the dragon, I'd be inclined to say yes. But the prior picture of him in the back of the crowd implies no. He's just one of the crew. Otherwise, why would Wu and Garmadon lead the charge and he's sandwiched somewhere in the middle? It doesn't add up.
That's true. Why is anyone going to their dojo to be trained by a Wu when they could be trained by God?
I
you
mean,
know?
like he does have some. He does have some closer shots, like of this
man, that hair though.
and this. Which, by the way, that was on the literally one of the first results from first Spinjitzu master. So, but you are right that he did have long hair and a braid, but it was more like a shaved head with like the one braid and like a paddle one almost.
I mean, listen,
Yeah, you
the
gotta,
dude. There's been
roll
thousands
his
of
hair.
Braids
years.
unfurl.
Like girls change their hair like every other month, so I don't know what his first Ninjutsu master can
Purple.
change his once every 1,000 years or something.
That's fair.
Maybe it was in, maybe long hair
The
was
turn
in
of
that
the
time.
century. What's his new hair gonna look like?
Alright. Gotta figure it out. We'll put it down. I'm gonna say pretty concretely no, but if anybody in the audience has any insights they'd like to add to this, please feel free to share. If it was ever said anywhere, if Tommy Anderson asked anybody, if he answered anybody who asked him, rather. I doubt Tommy Anderson would
I
ask
know
random
for a
people off the
fact.
street.
I know for a fact Tommy Anderson did say that there's been several centuries since the
Not
first
that.
Ninjutsu master
About,
died.
whether this dude is the first Ninjutsu master.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though, is that probably not, because if Tommy Anderson said he's been dead for centuries, he's probably
He would
wasn't alive.
contradict his
when he was
own
gone.
lore. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all
As
I'm
much
saying.
as I'd
I
like
don't
to
know.
catch him in a gotcha moment, it ain't in the cards today.
Gotcha, Tommy Anderson. Okay, well, in any case, let's go ahead and move forward with the episode we're going to talk about first. This is episode 71 overall, 7 of Hands of Time, Secrets Discovered. So the episode starts out, nothing happens. End of recap.
Honestly, yeah.
Antics do not ensue that episode.
Nothing ensued. It was a complete and total, I don't want to say an absolute waste of time, but
99.
we're really close to that border.
99.8% waste of time. Like, when at first when you said that, I was like, oh, that's not true, you're just, like, drumming it up for, like, comedic effect. Stuff did happen, but, like, then I'm actually thinking about it, and I'm like,
Like, what?
a few things happened in the sense that events occurred, but they were either so chock full of plot holes that they might as well be non-canon, or they were just rambling and nonsensical. I took a few notes. I don't really know where to start with this, though. Let's just start with the most grievous offender to me.
Yes.
The entire scene with Samurai X,
Yeah,
quote-unquote,
that was
and Nia.
dumb. That was
Oh
dumb.
my god.
That was so
mess.
dumb.
Because
That was
Nia's been trying to
That
figure
crowd
out...
Still
Nia's
don't know
been-
who it is.
Nia's been trying to figure out who stole her suit, and she finds somebody in her cave, and she's like, oh, who are you? And they have this really, really dumb scene where the Samurai X is swapping between the voices. And I'm like, it was cool at first, then they did it for everybody, and it started to lose its luster. Like, at one point, the Samurai X was like, Garmadon had a treacherous past, maybe I'm Garmadon. And I'm like, yeah, I'm really sure that Garmadon came back from the dead to become Samurai X. I'm really, you really winning me over with that plot twist show.
It's because it was so drawn out that I hated it. Like, in concept at first when I was like, is it Ronin? And then it was like, oh yeah, I guess he broke his leg, huh? Maybe I'm Dareth. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That was cool, if
And
they left it at that.
Yeah, they could maybe do another line just like, oh, or maybe I'm Garmadon, or maybe I'm Misako. And then like just, that was it? Sure. But they kept like drawing it like out.
Okay,
and
they
just-
did it to literally everybody until Samurai X became Nia at the end. It was like, I'm
Yeah,
like,
and that was the worst part about it. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
She got into this spiel like, I can't reveal my identity because if I do, then all my enemies will target the people I love. I have to keep my identity secret.
targeting them because of you. They're already being targeted because they're trying to freaking
them.
stop the bad
See,
guys.
The spiel doesn't make any sense because the thing that she does is she goes on that spiel and she like delivers this whole like thing about how she has to hide her identity, and then she's like, just like you, Nia, and Nia's like, you're right. That's the exact same reason why I decided to put on the Samurai X suit. Even though that wasn't the reason at all why I put on the Samurai X suit. But you know what? You're right. I did that. And I respect you now. In fact, here, you can have all of my Samurai X stuff. All that conflict that we had at the start, all gone.
Yeah. It's as if I went to Var's house and said, I make videos like you do. And Var went, all yours.
Here's my
Yep,
stuff,
basically.
dude.
Everything's all yours.
This is all my stuff.
The
you
worst
got my
thing is-
camera.
No, it's like if you came to my house and you robbed me of my stuff first, and I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
true.
make sure this guy pays for this. So I track you down, corner you in an alleyway, and you're
Oh,
like,
I did it for
no,
reuse."
but I need this equipment because I make videos for the children. The children, they've got cancer, and I make the videos to entertain them, and I'm like, that's exactly why I make videos.
And then you just let me have
You know
it.
what?
Like,
Yeah,
honestly-
here's my stuff.
Honestly, it's like that, except if it wasn't Var, it was Lego Jang. Because you guys have no relation at all. Not even like
Jang bricks.
Just Jang bricks, right?
Yeah,
And just,
some random
you just
schmuck.
you just stole his stuff, just randomly.
For the children, Jang.
And
It
For the
was-
children.
she still
It was
doesn't
like-
know who it
There
is.
were, there was like this one part at the end of that whole thing where the samurai talked in Skylar's voice, and he was like, "Oh, you must be Skylar," yada yada. And I had just like this whole mind blown moment because I was like, "Oh yeah, right. She has the like." She probably has like the Master of Forms abilities, and she can just shapeshift. And she was just like messing with Nia, but like no, that wasn't even it. It's like they could have just. That would have been such a better reason than
Skylar was a red
whatever.
herring.
No.
See, I mean, here's the thing. Skylar was a red herring. It would have been cool if that was Skylar, but I also feel like it wouldn't have been deserved if it was Skylar.
It would not have been.
So it would have been really lame if we did find out that it was Skylar. It'd have been cool to see her again, but not cool that she was the ninja or the samurai. It's
really
got to be
just-
Pixel.
I mean, we
It's
saw
Pixel.
her again, even that same episode.
Yeah, and which was cool. I'm glad that we have Skylar back, but her reduced role is a little unfortunate for her.
She's kind of like
Yeah, and they
the Suki in the last season of Last Airbender.
Now, real
No.
talk, because I don't want to sound like a fool to the audience talking about this, why did Nia hide her identity at first?
I assume it was just because she didn't want to be, like, judged or whatever.
I found her in the desert, and he discovered her identity, and they had a brief conversation about it. I just forget the actual words that were
I think
shared.
what it was going back from in the original season of Ninjago, they were giving her a lot of crap for not being able to become a ninja because she was a girl. And the first thing that Wu says to her after he finds out that she is the samurai I was a fool to think that you couldn't be a ninja just because you were a girl. That's like pretty much his quote. So I think the reason why she decided to become the samurai and keep her identity secret was so that she could be recognized for her achievements without the fact that everybody's focusing on her as a girl. So
Got it. So, it's entirely selfish then.
yeah, I mean, pretty much. Yeah, it's like it's very very inward reason. She just
Which is fine.
She wanted to prove her worth. She wanted to do good things. She wanted to be a hero, but she didn't want people to associate her with being a girl and dismiss all of her achievements.
Yeah, like, that. I actually thought that was okay. I really liked the samurai arc way back when. I liked Nia's role as the samurai so much that I was actually disappointed when they made her the water ninja just because it took away her originality.
Like,
I
she
like
could've
Samurai
just-
X.
She could have
Samurai
just been the water samurai. Like, she doesn't even need
Exactly.
to be
That
a ninja.
Sam-
the
Samurai
entire
X's
plot line
character
was
arc-
so stupid. And
Samurai X's character arc has a special place in my heart for Ninjago because it was cool, it was unique, it was fresh. But now they basically, like, undone that.
new.
It was new for the show. It was cool.
I guess for me, I feel like it was kind of too preachy for me to really appreciate that.
I think it was very cliche. I feel like I've seen that story a million times.
I feel like I've seen that. Yeah, it's like, oh, and then like she takes the mask off. and
For
you're like,
Lego.
It's a girl. What? And he's like, oh, you thought I couldn't
Oh,
do
okay,
this because
yeah.
I'm a
I
girl.
don't like that part so much, but I mean, like, Nia's
Right.
role in the team. She's not just another one of the
Yeah,
ninja.
okay, I get
She's not
that,
Gali, just another Toa. She's got her own arsenal. She's got
Right.
her own, like, repertoire of stuff. She is unique. She's
that,
a standalone
yeah,
character.
that'll give you like
And
that
I-
stupid thing when
and
Wu's
the
like,
reasons
oh,
why-
you weren't ready yet, even though you were kicking everyone's butt.
The reasons
before.
why she became the samurai were selfish, but it worked for her character arc. Well, now that this has happened, they've retconned it into being like a completely selfless act done to protect her friends, which doesn't make sense because the ninja fought the snakes before Nia fought the snakes. They were fighting enemies before
Yeah.
Samurai X was even a thing.
The ninja-
It breaks the show.
The ninja literally had more powers than her at the time, could defend themselves just as well, and their identities were like public domain. It was never a secret. So
They
like
never hid.
they were always in constant danger. Nia putting herself in danger did literally nothing to contribute to the ninja being in danger. It
In
made
fact,
no
yeah,
sense.
Like, the ninja are celebrities. Like, everybody knows who they are.
Exactly. It's public domain. Public domain knowledge
So-
that they are the ninja. So it makes no sense at all.
I don't know what exactly was going on with that particular plot thread, but that was by far and above the worst thing of the episode. I'll go so far as to say it was the worst of the season.
And here's the thing, right?
Because it doesn't just make me question, like, oh, this one episode had a plot hole or whatever. It's like the whole show now. Like, they've retconned her character arc.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense.
It's even worse because I am like 99% sure and confident that the samurai is Pixel, because Pixel's still not around. They're still focusing on this whole like this whole Pixel not being their thing.
They did finally reference it.
They did reference it, but they're still like exactly though. They're referencing it. They're reminding you that she's not there.
Right,
And
it's
there's
a
reason
reason
for
for
it.
the audience. Yeah,
It's so once they do reveal that Pixel is the samurai, then suddenly it'll make all kinds of sense. Right, cool. Why is she keeping her identity secret to protect her friends, though? What could that possibly be? I bet you the show is not going to address it.
Probably.
Like, they still have room to, and I can't say for certain that they will or not, but I I bet you it's not going to come back up again.
There is only one thing they could do to make me like it, and it's if they, and it doesn't even work. It's as if they later were like, oh yeah, I just said all that stuff just to like get you to leave me alone. I just spun some crazy explanation because you were on my case, but it doesn't work because it like deeply impacted Nia. And she was like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I did. Like,
Yeah.
No.
It does.
Like,
it would make sense if like the reason was like, okay, she just said that so Nia would think that it was Skylar.
yes. Or if it was just some other person and she just said that to Nia, like, please just leave me alone. I'm trying to do good. I'm trying to use your tools since you don't need them anymore. My identity doesn't matter. I'm not your enemy. I'm just trying to do my own thing. And Nia's like, you know what? I can respect that because at one point I was trying to be independent and do my own thing too and help people. And that was like just something I tried to do. So you know what? I can get behind that and I'm going to support you.
That's probably what they were trying to go for.
Probably.
Yeah, but
Just like butchered it completely.
The writing, like the actual, the spirit of the writing was fine. The dialogue, like, was a big problem.
Yeah. It'd actually be pretty cool if the samurai was a completely new character too.
It would.
that would be actually really cool. I would have
Yeah.
liked that a lot.
But I'm pretty sure it's Pixel.
What else? Even like have
Okay.
scales showed up. No, what Eljay?
I don't know about that. I'll scroll through. The other grievous issue this episode had was with Nia's sibling, Kai.
Oh yeah, he's still an idiot. He's still so stupid.
else
Okay,
is new?
honestly, I understand that the season, the entire concept is to focus on these two. This is their season, because all the other Ninja had seasons, they had focus.
They're really making
Now
a
it's
mess
on
of
them.
it.
They are either poorly written or just really bad people. Like, not terrible people, just dumb people.
Yeah.
Because Kai
Even
went
worse.
back to his forge, saw on the wall where he lived, where he grew up, where he owned the same symbol, which has been retconned in. We determined that last episode. And went, oh my goodness, it's my father's symbol that I conveniently haven't seen for however long I've been alive
even-
because it's really unclear.
Even that wasn't enough for him to put two and two together. He had to fall into a secret pit, like complete
They just like
happenstance.
found it. Like, oh, I'm gonna hit this like freaking gong. Suddenly, there's a secret passage. Like, yeah, okay.
Why is that passage there?
No,
Why would they need it to be secret?
Because the plot.
because they wanted to keep their Avatar ripoff symbols. a
Okay.
secret.
That's another thing.
Okay,
Prpl,
yes.
Prpl pointed out like that the Avatar, the symbols on the wall were like Avatar ripoffs, and both Eljay and I were like, "There's no way. You just
They
missaw
are.
things." Purple
And
posted
then
the Avatar
Purple posted the
pictures.
symbols, and it was literally the same symbols.
Purple, you post the symbols. I'll post the picture from the show.
Okay,
Get 'em.
give me a second.
We'll teamwork
is-
this nonsense.
It is the same symbols from Avatar flipped. They've been rotated horizontally. It's like
Not even
not,
that.
not even. It's just like
It's
some of the
only-
lines are off because whoever drew them just.
I thought it was
made 'em
mirrored at
different.
first, but it's actually not. It's just like
they're
they're
not?
actually 1-to-1. Nope. The only difference is that on the Avatar water symbol, the bottom three lines are connected to the circle. On the Ninjago symbol, they're not connected. And on the fire one, the only difference is that the Ninjago fire symbol arcs slightly more.
Yeah, wow, they are the same symbols.
No, this is. I honestly, when you guys said it, like I saw you react to that. I wasn't watching the episode with you guys, and I thought, okay, probably looks kind of similar. These are literally the exact same symbols. Not even. Are they? Is this a universal symbol thing? Is it like?
Maybe. It might be.
Public, like a public domain.
Yeah, like a
logo or
public
something.
domain, like it's
Like,
a ancient,
doubt it.
like an ancient
as,
Chinese.
as
like,
a fan
way of drawing it, and
perspective,
so-
I'm like, oh cool, this is a reference. That's awesome. But like as an actual person, I'm like, why would you do that? Like, could they actually get in trouble for that, or could they not? Like, I
Nah.
doubt Avatar has
No,
like
no.
the symbols trademarked.
They can't. I don't think they can because I don't think the symbols are. You can argue that the symbols are just representations of water and fire, and they're kind of generic in that sense. That being said, it clearly looks like the same symbol.
Prentice makes a
Pretense-
good point that Lego did have the license to Avatar at one point. Could it have been assets in their library and no one noticed?
Yeah,
Nah.
for instance, in the live studio audience just said because like they did license out Avatar at one point, and it could have just been an asset that had left over from one of their other lines. They probably thought it was like Bionicle or something.
Exactly
Yeah,
what I
but
just said.
but I mean,
Yeah, I know.
here's
So
the deal.
I'm giving the credit
He's
to
elaborating.
Prentice, who's the one who actually pointed it out and also elaborating.
Yeah, and Meso said that too.
I
Okay.
did. To be fair, I spoke fast.
It's cool.
I spoke really fast, so you probably didn't catch it.
It doesn't matter.
What I'm
I
thinking though,
guess Like,
I don't think
maybe
the
that's
studio
something-
has that access, right? They wouldn't have access to Lego's like internal.
The point I was
heat
trying to
stuff.
get to is that I don't see how that would work with would that asset be translated into like the models that they're working with for the studio, like animating Ninjago,
Right.
though? Like how would that like it would be in their asset catalog for like promotional imagery
Right.
and stuff.
Exactly. But
For
it wouldn't
sets,
be-
but not for this like animation studio.
And even still,
Yeah.
there's only like 2 Avatar sets ever made, right? There weren't a whole lot of them. They
3,
didn't-
I think.
Yeah, something small. They didn't do a whole marketing push for him. They probably, I don't know if they'd have all those assets necessarily there. I think it's just more likely that either they just Googled fire symbol, and drew something that looked kind of like that, or it was a actual homage to Avatar: The Last Airbender, which
I don't
is
think that's purposeful.
yeah, I don't think so either. I think it's just like they just kind of Googled it and got
Yeah,
it. But
I
it
do
is a very striking symbol.
Only like one other thing of note happened in the episode, and I do say, okay, fine, something did happen, and it's also dumb. Scales made a cameo, which isn't dumb. I actually liked that a lot. He usually is kind of annoying, but this go round, he was fine. He delivered some exposition. He had some charming moments.
That was like this episode's redeeming quality is just all the cameos.
Yeah, Lloyd had a scene with him, and he was like, "Thanks, Scales." He was like, "Good luck, Ninja." And I was like, I got flashbacks to, like the first episode of like the Serpentine arc, and I'm like, oh, how far they've come. That's character growth, dude. That's like the first characters, then the last characters. I like that a lot. But the stuff that he says, like the ninja find out the Vermilion are like being artificially like bred, they're being created. And Scales is like, they are what did he say? The descendants of the great Devourer. He used a specific word, like it wasn't descendants, but I forget what it was. Progeny or something? Like first generation progeny or something. I forget. And like, I'm like, what does that actually like mean? Does it mean they're just super destructive? Like how did the Hands of Time get that?
They're like the beta serpentine. They're always hungry and angry or something.
Ninjas12 says they were from the Great Devourer's eggs. I'm like, okay, I guess that works, but like it's also kind of strange. Like, it makes sense in the context that I've always been wondering, like, how did they actually make the Vermilion? Are they related to any of the other Serpentine? I recall we've asked that question before. The answer is, yeah, they are. But like, I can get behind that in a sense. It's just the way it was conveyed. Like, at the moment they said the Great Devourer, it was like an audible groan went out. Like, we're retreading old ground again.
The Great Devourer's eggs?
Apparently.
Was the Great Devourer a girl?
I guess.
Yes, I think so. Actually,
Really?
The Great
that sounds really familiar. I feel like that was a thing that they said at one point.
I don't remember that.
I don't know. I mean, it has to be if it laid eggs.
I guess, but there'd also have to be like a daddy snake.
The
Man.
Daddy.
entire situation is really confusing.
You are.
It
not
feels
the
a little bit
father.
shoehorned in.
It is, but I mean, like, this whole season is. Every season of Ninjago where they introduce a new, like, retcon to the plot or, like, some other old ancient enemy of Wu's feels that way. And it's because, like, we've discussed it before, it's like they had to retool the theme and, like, they just come up with stuff on the fly. And, like, usually it's fine. Like, I can forgive most of the stuff that happens. It's not really a big deal. But with this season feels, like, particularly egregious, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's actually that much more blatant than the past, or if we're just perceiving it as such because it's been a long time since we got a new Ninjago season. I don't know. But I'm noticing a lot more of that stuff. It's also strange because, like, the Serpentine arc happened so long ago. You know, like, they're trying to bring back the Great Devourer as being relevant, like, 7 years later. 6 years, technically. I'm like, okay. I don't know. That was about all, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ended up finding the base,
They found the base.
but
Using the
They
temporal
have the,
scanner
like,
to track that
lighting.
temporal energy.
Okay, listen.
The lighting and
temporal
animation
stuff.
in that scene when they like find the base was really good.
Yeah, that looked really good.
Definitely.
Art direction for the actual base is very nice.
That I cannot complain about. Swamp base is top notch.
Yeah, it looks really cool. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I will say, very quickly, just Googling images of water symbol and fire symbol, the Avatar ones are like some of the very first results, so that very well could have been exactly what they did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
oh,
Probably a mistake.
Well, I mean, I don't think. See, you can't say it's a mistake because they drew the art asset.
It's the exact same. Yeah. It's not a mistake in the sense that it didn't mean to copy something. Somewhere, someone meant to copy that symbol and just didn't think it would ever become a thing.
It was like it's 4:30 and they're like, hey, we need to get this rendering over the weekend, and this guy's like, it's Friday night, I just want to go home. Fire symbol. Okay, just there you go.
Yeah, what if like whoever storyboarded it like just drew it as a temporal temporary thing, and that was meant to be like designed later, and it just never got to it.
Maybe.
Also,
it's like what irritates me the most is like it's thoroughly unnecessary. It didn't have to be in the scene at all. Kai stumbles onto this secret passage, which has its symbols. For what? Did he find the old helmet there that also had the symbol, and that's what led him to believe that his parents were alive? I'm like, what's the alternative? All these snakes that are appearing out of nowhere just randomly found like a cache of old armor just sitting around with like hundreds of thousands of helmets and chest plates just waiting, and there's no disrepair at all. They look good as new. Or the fact that the person who's making them is alive and making them right now, which is more likely. Genius. Like,
I know.
Kai and Nia are supposed to be getting the spotlight this season, and I feel like it's inverse. Well, so far, they've made Kai a bumbling moron, and they've contradicted Nia's entire character arc. So
here's what I'm wondering. Here's what I'm wondering.
Focus.
This is the brand, right? The brand of like Kai's father.
Yes.
His blacksmith brand. So what was Kai using when he branded or if he branded at all the stuff he was making as a blacksmith before Wu found him? Because he was working the shop.
I mean, this is what we were bringing up before, how it makes no sense that they wouldn't understand the symbol. Like the second they see that symbol, they should immediately have recognized it. It's not like they didn't work in that shop. They worked in that shop after their parents supposedly died this whole time. That's where they lived before they became ninja, and they were still blacksmiths. So they should recognize the symbol. It's really silly to think that they wouldn't.
What if he didn't recognize it for the same reason that we didn't recognize it? Because it didn't exist, and it's all time stuff. No, follow me with this. What if it's something time related? Like they went back in time, and like we're gonna find out it's just all paradox stuff,
thing.
where like the symbol was put in like retroactively, and he started using it as a way to like
that makes
signal
sense.
to his son that like something was up.
Now that would
the
make
reason
sense.
that makes sense is because of what we'll talk about in the next episode.
Okay.
But that does make sense.
Okay. Yes.
Real quickly, doesn't Ninjago have their own water symbol though? Don't they already have one?
They have a symbol for each of the individual ninja. Like Jay has a symbol, Nia has a symbol, Kai has a symbol. I don't know if those are really elemental symbols.
Okay.
Wait, let me ask you this.
That might be what you're thinking.
How did you even recognize that?
But like,
how did I what?
How do you even recognize those symbols from Avatar?
I don't know. I just remembered them. Whenever I watched Avatar, I would always like sort of draw the symbols in my head because they looked cool.
Nice.
So
Prpl, you are such a symbol person.
Wow.
Just give you flashy art, and you'll like
symbol person.
The thing is, because they
Jeez
already have that water symbol like as an asset from the line that they're adapting into this show. So I don't know why they wouldn't just use that.
Yeah, that's true. They should have that because it's their own
It's
asset.
there in the show.
Yeah. So they should have that line around somewhere. Probably.
Well, actually, that water symbol is a variation of Nia's fire phoenix symbol. So it's not really like, it wouldn't really make a lot of sense for it to be in
Nia's
that secret basement
Phoenix.
area.
Yeah, it makes me more sense that they're waterbenders.
Yeah,
dude,
it makes as much sense as Avatar symbols being there.
What if their mom is Katara and their dad is like Zuko? And like, the universe hopping.
Sure.
Katara ship is real.
Time travel is just...
Wow. We're getting off.
All right, go ahead and recap
Let's
this
go ahead and get an episode,
which is actually good, really good.
Yeah, the next episode's
yes,
so much
this
better.
is actually. Yes. Okay. Let me see. Look at the title card. There we go. So this is episode 8, episode 72 overall. Pause and Effect, which is a really clever title.
Yeah.
Starts out, Ninja are planning how they're going to get Wu and Cyrus Borg back. They all group up, working that out. Then we get into another Wu dream. Then we get into the two generals kind of bickering. All the ninja are a little bit scattered. They're putting their plan in operation. Kai and Nia, they're going to go find their parents. Zane goes off on his own to find Cyrus Borg. And the remaining two go to get well, everything else. They try and shut the operation down. They stumble across all of the workers who are working on the armor, and Karlov is there.
Yes!
And then they work on trying to escape.
Cameos continue.
I'm really excited to see that.
Cyrus Borg is continuing working on the device. It looks like it's completed. They're awaiting 2 more time blades. We'll get into that later. Antics are ensuing pretty much all across the board. The breakout's happening, and then boom, whoa, who's that? It's Kai's father. They fight because Kai is a jerk. They all meet up. More antics are ensuing. Lloyd's trying to get Wu. Then the 3rd time blade drops. And this is the one that can pause time for a short duration of time. The bad guys get that. Everything stops. Everything continues moving. Everyone explains everything. We get some backstory. Wu gets captured again. The ninja kind of fail in that respect. And then the ninja, Kai and Nia, and their parents once again get captured. And that's the end of the episode.
This episode worked, I think, for pretty much one reason. Well, 2 reasons. Number 1, it didn't break the lore or raise questions. In fact, it might have answered some questions. And number 2, because it had heart. The scene where Kai and Nia find their parents was really good. The scene where Wu was having a dream about all of his failures was also good. Moro made a cameo. So it's like, by watching the rest of the show, you're rewarded for, like, knowing the characters and whatnot, because you know the struggle people have gone through. That's like a mark of, like, an actual character arc, building upon what happened before, continuity and such. And in general, like, you could actually, like, get behind stuff that was going on. You weren't pulled out of it by extraneous nonsense, or trying to figure out how stuff worked, or meshed with the timeline. It was just a good episode, with some good action, some really good choreography, during the fight scene with Kai and his dad. Good heart, good, basically everything. I liked it a lot. Good cameos, even. Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah.
I have a question, and that is, how are Kai and Nia's parents so well preserved after 40 years? Like, no joke. I mean, like, imagine they're about 20 years old, maybe, at the beginning when they have this war, right? It seems like a decent enough age. Would you say, you place them around that age? If they're 20 years old, they're 60. They look, I mean, essentially the same, which is incredible.
Their mother got younger, because in the flashbacks, she has wrinkles. In the present day, she doesn't.
Man,
Dang.
that Botox, though.
Whatever she's having.
I know, right?
Maybe there's a reason. Because we're still, like, dealing with time and stuff.
We are.
Yeah.
We do see little Kai, little Nia.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. So
They're so
they meet up with their parents, and they explain everything that happened, and it's pretty much cut and dry. Their parents were abducted. They were forced to do X, Y, and Z. But we actually see the abduction, and it was after, of course, they had their kids, Nia and Kai, and their children. They were abandoned, A, really young, and B, just kind of left there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
When?
talk. Okay,
I'm not a huge fan of the abduction, because, like,
I'm not either.
what's his name? I don't even know who. it
Sanders,
is.
Saunders, whatever.
That
Chronix.
guy. Yeah, he just pointed a sword at them.
That was
like,
the thing.
They're elemental.
They made a whole
masters.
deal about like
Well-
like him befriending them and everything, and he just knocks the tea from her hand and like draws a sword. It's like, oh, is that it? That's the extent that he needed to become a friend. Like, it
They
wasn't.
mentioned that their powers had grown weaker.
Well,
were
yeah,
exhausted.
because they made the time blades, and the metal that they had used absorbs elements, and we saw them actually using their elements to construct them. So it's presumable that they actually spent everything they had crafting them, which is why they were so surprised that Nia and Kai got
And
their
or
elements
they
back.
spent everything they had locking away the yeah, actually that doesn't make any sense, because they locked away the final time blade using fire and water, so they still had powers after they sent away the hands of time.
That being
So
said,
either
right.
either
aren't they
that
also
was
like martial artists? They could just
Well,
like,
yes.
kick his butt.
That's what I was getting into, like, even because, like, no, assuming that their powers are completely gone, Chronix's powers are also gone. It's a 2v1 fight where they're like trained fighters, and this dude also is, but all he has is a sword. He has no armor, no shield, no nothing, just a sword. I think it'd be pretty safe bet to take him down. And even if you can't, how about you just give a little ring on your Ninjago phone, or you send like a letter, like, this dude's still around, he's got no army, I don't know where his brother is. He might still be out there, but even if he is, he's got no powers. Let's get this guy.
Okay,
It would have been pretty simple.
real quick, again, Prentice in the live studio audience says that he felt the Saunders and Pants relationship was probably much longer than shown on screen.
Oh, definitely.
No, I totally get that. I'm saying that, like, why did he need to become their friend in the first place? If he could have walked up to their store and drawn his sword for
Well, you
the
see,
amount
it's-
of, like, thing it did.
Yes,
It's
it wasn't
interesting
the
that you-
friendship that was a problem. It was the actual betrayal scene. Go on,
Yeah.
bro.
I was gonna say it's interesting you brought that up because Prentice in the live studio audience just said I also feel like the Saunders parents relationship was
Call back. Yes. Prentice getting them double shutouts. No, it's like if he actually committed some kind of act of betrayal, like caught him at a weak moment,
Right,
or like
exactly.
actually like, what if, I don't know, he was at their house hanging out and doing like friend stuff, watching a movie, and like he just like got up to get a snack or something. And like they were watching a movie, and like he just comes back, hits him on the head, knocks him out,
No,
and then like drags
not
them off
even
to
that.
the evil
What if
way.
he,
Not
like,
even that. What do you kidnap the
threatened
kids? What do you
his
kidnap the
kids?
kids? You just
Like-
you like
Are Kai and Nia secretly being used as leverage or something? Because, like, they're fine now. So
yeah, no,
you can
I
just-
that's why like if he was like a friend of theirs and then they left to grab something while he was there and then
And
he
he took
kidnapped
the
the
kids,
kids,
yeah.
see that would be worth friending him to do, like that would get them, but he doesn't. He just like the
Either
betrayal
one of
scene
those
is very dumb.
scenarios would actually work out much better than the actual betrayal.
Right.
Now, the good aspect of this scene is it does confirm, beyond a shadow of a doubt, as if there was any doubt, that a significant amount of time has passed between when they lock the hands of time away and when Kai and Nia's parents go away. Because the last time when we were talking about the timeline, we were like, oh, so if Kai and Nia were babies at the end of the Serpentine War, then that means they're 40 years old. But
Right.
no, it's a significant amount of time has passed. They don't say how much, but it was enough for Acronix to closely befriend these people. So I can presume it's a number of years. So that adds a little bit more clarification. The
But-
big deal for this episode was that we get a thing with the overarching plot, and they are doing exactly what everyone feared they were doing. They are making a time machine. So
They are absolutely making a time machine that they have stated can go back in time.
So we're gonna be in for some fun things in the upcoming episodes, guys. I'm
I
looking
remember the
forward to
last time we went back in time.
We're back in time. Back in time.
Oh, God.
it. So
Yeah,
like,
it's
I'm
funny because,
scared.
like, the original time travel episode never really bothered me until you guys pointed out all of the horrible things that it caused to happen or
Yeah,
whatever. It's
So you
like,
met
oh,
us.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what
We
happens.
have a habit of
Nothing
picking apart
bothers you
stuff.
until you meet us, and then suddenly everything bothers you.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. For me, like, I deem problems with, like, media, storytelling nitpicks, plot holes, whatever. If it doesn't occur to you while you're watching it, then it's not as destructive as if it occurs to you immediately
Totally.
while you're watching.
Totally.
Like, when you have to go back and, like, watch video essays, like, breaking stuff down or listen to podcasts, it's not that bad. But, like, with the Nia thing, like, the moment she said those words in the last episode, we were like, no. It completely took me out of
Exactly.
the episode going forward.
Once it takes you out, it's just like, okay, well,
It's
that's
There
a
are
suspension of
levels.
disbelief. Once it breaks that, then that's really egregious. There's some movies I've enjoyed beforehand where afterwards I'm like, hey, why did that not work? You know, but
right. Some movies I'll like dislike over time, but like the fact that I had to think on it makes it less bad.
Suspension of disbelief is just like a suspension bridge. When you break it, everything dies. It's on the
I, was,
bridge.
I
and
thought you
Man.
were gonna say
Iron
everything
Man's one of
falls
those.
apart, not everything dies.
yeah.
I love
You're
dead
right.
things.
In the sense of the episode going forward, like, I don't know where it's gonna go, honestly. Like, the whole time travel stuff, I fear that it's gonna be bad, but it might not actually be. They might make it work out okay. They can't really do any worse than the last time, because that one was filler. They weren't really concerned about it until they brought it back up later. This one, it's the ending of a season. They've been building up to it. I'd hope they've put some thought into actually making it work and not break the show. So I'm optimistic about this particular time travel element.
wow, I'm the exact opposite. It's like where I really didn't want them to go, and now they're going there, and I'm like, yeah, that's
No, I agree.
I
I
have,
prefer
like-
I prefer they'd not do it, but I'm like, compared to the last one, like, I have faith they'll do it better.
I mean, compared to the last one, it has the potential to be better, but the season has also
Yeah,
just
you know-
been
you-
like...
You know when the last time I said that, Meso? That was right after Batman v Superman. We're gonna see Suicide Squad, and I was like, yeah, well, I mean, compared to the last one, yeah, I'm kind of optimistic, you know, like they probably
enough.
learned they can do better. Now, listen, just because
I'm trying to be fair.
I know, I'm saying that just because one episode was bad does not mean that comparatively this is still not bad. I think it's still going to be bad. You know, it's like, sure, the other one was really bad because it was filler, and I think you're right. It probably will be worse compared to it, but I'm still not excited for it. I still feel like it's time travel is just a bad idea, and from what I've seen right now, they're not approaching time travel as a plot device with structure. You need structure in your time travel plots, else it just kind of just goes insane.
Yeah. We'll see, I suppose. This episode did have some really good comedy. One of my favorite moments, perhaps, of the entire season so far was when they were taking everybody hostage and Karloff showed up, but they also, like, they're looking for blacksmiths. They're looking for people who can build stuff, and they capture the royal blacksmiths. Cole's dad's, like, band.
I know,
That was really funny.
Saying, like, revenge will be mine.
That was really great.
That was really good.
It's not even funnier to me because I was watching it at twice the speed. She was like, run to mine. It's like crazy high pitched and everything. It was great.
So credit
That
where
was
credit is
really
due.
good.
That's basically all I got.
Man,
to
we've
say.
seen almost all of the ninjas' parents in this season. We've seen Jay's, now Nia and Kai's, and Cole's, but we won't see Zane's.
Rip.
How do you know? What if they go back in time and Julian's there?
Oh my gosh,
Swear
you're
to
right.
God.
They could.
Oh no, they can do that now.
Please, no.
Yeah.
I don't want the fans to get what they want.
So,
Dude, you're starting to embrace your inner VAR.
Oh my god, there's just like this weird cult of people who love Zane's dad so much, and I don't
why do they
understand.
care about Julian?
Are they?
I don't know.
So wait, they like a character related to an ice character whose head has what is generally considered to be a white piece. Are they Selekians?
That was
was
the less we
equivalent.
ever
the biggest stretch I have
Let's
ever
talk
seen.
about them, the
Stretch
better.
since Mr. Fantastic.
Okay, come on. Listen, last episode I had the whole Amber thing stretch, and it paid off.
Amber.
Is this going to pay off?
Amber.
that what you're
Ask
gonna
Tommy
say?
Anderson
It paid
if Zane's dad is the equivalent of Solek.
Do you guys ever like think about how the Selekians are like the kids that we disowned?
Yeah, actually, like that's basically what it is. Honestly.
No, the Selekians are like Meso literally hated something into a community. That's like what that is. He just hated something so much it went and formed its own community around it.
I'm actually like I'm like
Man,
kind of
I
proud.
really hate winning art books, guys.
I hate my Amazon wish list. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Okay, who do you think? Do you think anyone here is going to do that? Do you think anyone of
John.
our fans are going to?
I bought her
Is
something.
it public?
Yeah, but people have already started.
Oh
was
my
it?
gosh!
It's not gonna like. I only just found out today because I thought it should get to you by today. It's not gonna ship until July.
Wait, hold on. You bought her something else besides
Yeah.
the $70 thing?
It wasn't
Dude.
$70. It was okay. You know,
I'm not
Let's-
sure who I'm more
let's move
disappointed
on.
in. You or Purple?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I just
Okay,
asked
we will end
nicely.
this
This is what
episode-
happens when you're nice to people. They buy you stuff.
Purple. Listen, Purple. Purple's been a
you
good
are using
friend.
people, Purple. I'm just sad for John right now.
Listen,
No, do not be sorrowful
John,
for him.
weren't you gonna buy a
He's the one
Switch, dude?
spending the money.
I know.
Do you have money saved up for like a Switch?
yeah, no. It was a very.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
didn't
gone
actually
now.
buy
Purple leached
the-
it out.
Well, I spent that on a Chromebook instead because I was gonna use that for
Oh,
work.
Okay, but
then
what
it-
is
Are you
she?
gonna give that to her?
What are you trading for? Like, what is she getting you?
Therapy.
So nothing.
Yeah, basically. No, not you. I'm
We-
trying to shut up.
Norm. I mean,
Nope,
like
you already
essentially-
confirmed me,
listen,
and we are going to get back on track. This train is getting back on track. So the episode
Anyway, next time
I
on
thought
Purple the Therapist.
was much better than the last one. I thought it was funny. I thought that the plot was at least moving forward. We are getting somewhere. The cameos were much better utilized. Like we're getting more of the Elemental Masters. Last episode it was Skylar. This episode it's Karlov. Karlov actually had an effect here, and it made a lot of sense why he was present. All in all, good episode. Good way to end this episode. What do you guys think?
Cool.
What do you guys think? Any thoughts?
Yeah, first episode sucked. Second episode was much better. That's basically it.
I still can't get over how young looking the parents are. It's so. I think the thing about it is that 40 years is a really long time. I don't know why they chose that period of time.
On an Ninjago, apparently.
I mean, I'm just thinking, just like, if they just said 20 years, that would have made sense, right? Because then the kids would have been born at the end, and I could say they're about 20 years old.
I feel like they didn't even need to say like a specific year. Like they could have just said like several years ago or several decades
years
or
ago.
something.
Right. Exactly. No, I feel like the 40 years thing is just a very weird, specific thing that makes it unbelievable sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. Like, Vardy, you got any thoughts?
Nah.
Alright.
Nah.
I got a few then. So, the second episode was really good. I feel like episodes like this renew my faith in Ninjago, because like sometimes we weather the storm, you know, we deal with contrivances and like plot elements and stuff. Like it's always still enjoyable. It's always a well-produced show, but like sometimes it stumbles. But like episodes like this, it seems subtle, but the cameos and like the moments of payoff actually are like, okay, I'm being rewarded for sticking with it. I get more of an understanding of the universe, the character dynamics, the relationships people have. There's troubles, there's suffering, and a lot of the references and like in jokes and stuff actually make a lot of sense. Like something as simple as like having Moro be in like Wu's flashback, or Karloff and Cole's dad show up, or like Kai's scene with his dad, which like even though some of the dialogue was a little hammy, like you could feel like his anger. Kai like sold that scene. The voice actor did a great job with that, and I'm glad, because Kai hasn't really had a lot of stuff to work with so far for what is supposedly his season. So at the end, he gets some good material. Thumbs up. And then final thing I'll say, what I referenced earlier about how maybe it was the symbol was like put into place through time travel by his dad. Like that's a crackpot theory, and I know that because there's no way, like, they're making the time machine. They don't have the power energy yet, so there's no way they can actually go back in time. I just think it'd be cool, like, if they actually pulled that off. Like, it was meant to trigger him and be like, I need to go investigate this, and if I put the pieces together, then I can find you. And the reason he couldn't put two and two together isn't because he's an idiot, but because it didn't make sense with what he knew as reality, but reality had been altered by time travel. They're not going to do that, I don't think. Just what I'd hope for. So overall, good episode. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Well,
Funny you should mention that, because Prentice in the chat just mentioned that.
Shout out to Prentice1215, patron spotlight for this week.
Yeah, no kidding. You got a lot here.
People did.
Okay.
Go ahead and end this.
Yeah, let's. We're gonna go ahead and end this episode. Next time is gonna be the finale of the season, if I'm not mistaken. So, all right. Thank you all very much for listening and watching. If you're curious as to who Prentice is, or who any of the people we've been talking about this entire episode, feel free to go look at our Patreon at patreon.com/the TTV channel. And we have a variety of different perks, one of which being for being a patron. Man, I am really stellar today. This is just
Thanks,
my
Nick.
day. Thanks, Nick. I'm a YouTube creator.
I'm a YouTube creator, and
but
thanks,
in any
Nick.
case, go check out Patreon. We have a ton of interesting perks, especially if you are a Message Boards member. And also make sure to head on over to the TTV message boards at board.ttvchannel.com, where you can ask Lego, Ninjago, Hero Factory, and most notably Bionicle writer Greg Farshty any question that you may have if it follows our rules. So thank you all very much for watching once again. We are going to end this lesson today. I am Eljay.
I'm Barb.
Hi, I'm Meso.
I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Prpl.
He wants to do the bit and then just changes the bit. And we have been NinjagoCast, the masters of Pajitsu. We will see you all next time.